Welcome back to another video of Clutch Attitude. What's going on, guys? Today's episode, we are going to talk about UFC 327, which has been revealed. And this was a couple of days ago. This video, I'm actually recording it, pretty late compared to other content creators. But I am very happy to see Jiri Prochazka against Carlos Ulberg take place. That means and we're gonna get into it, guys, because that means that the light heavyweight championship has been vacated by none other than Alex Ferreira. And actually, I'm super happy that Jiri Prochazka is getting the opportunity to main event 327 and get a chance to win the light heavyweight championship, which he has held before. And yes, Alex Ferreira was the one who took it away from him or beat him to get the belt, right? And now he gets a chance with Alex Pereira out of the picture. We then get a chance for Jiri Prochazka to get the belt again against Carlos Ulberg. Carlos Ulberg is a tough opponent for Jiri Prochazka. Let's remember that Jiri Prochazka is coming out of a win against um, Khalil Rountree. Khalil Rountree beat Jamal Hill to get into the fight with Jiri Prochazka. So that it makes sense, right? It makes sense to put Jiri Prochazka in there against Carlos Ulberg. And if Alex Pereira would have kept the belt before, we probably would have seen Jiri Prochazka against Magomed Ankalaev. But Magomed did get the belt from a lot of MMA math in here, but still, really good um fight. Right? So let me pull up the actual UFC this time. All right. And this is what it looks like. Jiri Prochazka against Carlos Ulberg. Let's see where they rank at the moment. All right. So it looks like the light heavyweight champion is still Alex Ferreira. But Jiri Prochazka is second in the rankings, and Carlos Ulberg is third on the rankings. So they're gonna face off, and whoever wins, I'm sure Magomed Ankalaev is gonna get a chance for that belt again. And I know Jiri is gonna want to give him the chance, right? He does not like Ankalaev, Magomed, and that's pretty cool. All right, so let's go back to the event itself, and let's see what it looks like. Okay, what the fight card looks like. This is gonna be in Miami. And as Ariel Hawani said today, this card was announced pretty late, right? We should have gotten this announcement probably a month ago, but who knows? Because Jiri did say that he has a child on the way, who is due a couple days after April 11th, April 13th to the 15th, I would say. But anyways, Jiri Prochazka against Carlos Ulberg is going to be the main event. Then we have Joshua Van taking on Tatsuro Taira, which is a fight that I thought they were going to do in Japan. But given the newly ranked and newly UFC fighter Kyoji Horiguchi, that fight, if Tatsuro Taira gets the belt against Joshua Van, which I think he has a big chance to get it, right? Tatsuro Taira has an all-around MMA kind of style. He can grapple, he can box. He's an all-around MMA fighter. Joshua Van is more of a banger. He bangs with you in the pocket, counters, and just all-out pressure. But Tatsuro Taira has a big chance. I don't know what the odds look like at the moment. UFC has not released that. I'm sure Tatsuro Taira is going to be a favorite, -200 favorite in my opinion. Right. Then we have the lightweight bout Benil Dariush against Manuel Torres. And this guy, guys, this is tough, right? This is tough. We got a Benil Dariush who just got knocked out within 30 seconds in his previous fight against the God of War, Benoit Saint Denis, right? And then he gets a Manuel Torres, who's an upcoming prospect at 14. So definitely, Benil Dariush, he's been hanging out at the lightweight top 15 for a while. Then this is a while, Dariush has been in the top 15 for a while, guys. And he's getting a Manuel Torres who's younger, hungrier. And you know what I think about these fighters, right? These hungry fighters, like Loner Kavanaugh. I called it last week, guys. I called it, and I told you guys that Kavanaugh was hungry, and he was young, and he was, he was going to be aggressive, and he was, and he took Brandon Moreno through the ringer, really. So that's what's going to happen here. Manuel Torres is going to jump into number 12 spot, taking Benil Dariush probably a round or two to finish, and but Benil Dariush can use his experience and take care of business as well. Not saying it can happen, but it can. All right. Now we have the return of Mateusz Gamrot against Esteban Ribovics. Guys, I've been waiting for something like this for Ribovics, right? The Argentinian has been giving us performance of the night after performance of the night. He gets a top 10 opponent. That's a big, big call. Not even Manuel Torres, who has been a great prospect, has had that situation, that opportunity, right? And this is a Mateusz Gamrot that's coming off a main event loss in Brazil against Charles Oliveira. So Esteban Ribovics, this is a tough task. Mateusz Gamrot is gonna grapple, is gonna, he's got everything. He's got a grappling. He has his own performances of the night, right? He has bangers of fights. So let's see. Esteban Ribovics gets the win here. I'm expecting, guys, this is the fight to make. If Ribovics wins, we're gonna see him against Dan Hooker, and it's gonna be a banger, right? We are throwing everything at Ribovics, right? Ribovics. So if he wins, book it. Dan Hooker against Esteban Ribovics. That's my prediction. All right. All right. So then we have the up and coming Hulk, Josh Hockett, against the number 4th ranked in the heavyweight division, Curtis Blades. Now, in my opinion, Josh Hockett is getting his toughest opponent so far in Curtis Blades. But what kind of Curtis Blades are we gonna see here? Are we gonna see a guy that's not interested anymore? Because he has looked bad lately, in my opinion, right? He hasn't looked in great shape, So anyways, what kind of Curtis Blades are we gonna see here? That's the question of this fight. Josh Hockett is probably gonna close as a favorite, unranked favorite, but that is that's what's gonna happen here. So what are we gonna get from Curtis Blades? We know what we're gonna get from Josh Hockett. That's all out pressure, good wrestling game. And Curtis Blades, this is a great matchup, guys. This is a great matchup. And 327 is a deep card. Because look at what we have next. A welterweight bout. Kevin Holland against Randy Brown. And if y'all don't know, Randy Brown is coming off a loss. Tough loss for him, right? And then Kevin Holland. But with these kind of fighters, we kind of we forget who they fought before, right? Kevin Holland coming off a loss, I believe against Mike Mallet, and then Randy Brown coming off a loss against the Brazilian guy. Forgot right now, but anyways, the Brazilian guy who, he jumped into the top 10 lately, if I'm not mistaken, a top 15. Anyways, after that, we have a featherweight bout that we never saw in Bellator. and that's Patricio Pitbull against Aaron Pico. This is a great fight, guys. I believe we never got a chance to watch this fight, and I'm gonna go ahead and check it out real quick. But I don't think we ever saw Aaron Pico fight. Let's see, Aaron Pico. Did we ever see Aaron Pico fight Patricio Pitbull? And we did not. We have never seen Patricio Pitbull. Boom, 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 boom. Wow. So they never fought against each other, even though they were in the same promotion. Yeah. Man, but Patricio Pitbull, that's crazy. He was champ a few times. Wow. Wow, this guy has been fighting in Bellator forever. Anyways, all right, so let's go back. So Patricio Pitbull against Aaron Pico. That gives Aaron Pico a chance to get into the rankings. And that gives Patricio Pitbull to kind of leave behind that era, right? Now we saw him beat Dan Ige, which was a pretty good fight, right? From Patricio Pitbull, we saw a little bit more volume. Now we're gonna see him going against Aaron Pico. For those who don't know, right? They both fought at Bellator, so that gives a chance to kind of like the nostalgia of that, right? After that, we get a banger, guys. We get a light heavyweight bout. Johnny Walker, who is sneaking in to the top 10 after this fight. In my opinion, he is going to get Dominic Reyes. Dominic Reyes is not going to get me anymore. He's definitely going to beat Dominic Reyes. Johnny Walker is going to get this fight. But anyways, we move on to another light heavyweight bout. I'm not sure if this is going to play out the same. I would definitely put let's see. I would definitely put this Paulo Costa Murzakanov fight possibly right after the Curtis Blade Josh Hackett. I don't know. But anyways, Paulo Costa, Borashima going against Azama Murzakanov. Paulo Costa said today in Ariel Helwani that this is a one-off, right? This is a one-off light heavyweight bout. He's not going to cut too much weight, and he's right now at 220 pounds, he says, around there. And this is going to take place at 205 against a ranked opponent. You know, it says here he's ranked number 12. That's going to be ranked number 12 at the middleweight division. Azamat is ranked number 6 at the light heavyweight. So let's see how that comes to part. Not sure. You know, if it's cardio, neither of them have enough cardio. But Paulo Costa has been showing a good outings in the last couple of fights. So hopefully he gets to win. But Azamat is a pretty tough fighter as well. All right. Then we get a strawweight bout of the number 2 contender. Number 2 contender, Tatiana Suarez against Lupe Godinez. And this is a great matchup right here. Tatiana Suarez, who fights once a year. Sometimes doesn't even fight. But anyways, Tatiana Suarez against Lupe Godinez. That's going to be a great fight right there. I think that's one fight that should have been in the Mexico Fight Night card. But as deep as this card is, this is it. Now, if you would ask me, hey, with what fight we can open up 327, it would be this one. This featherweight bout from Cub Swanson against Nate the Train Landwehr. Because, man, this is going to be a banger of a fight. And opening up we should open up the card with this fight right here. It'll get seats in that stadium pretty quick because everybody's going to want to watch this fight. Cub Swanson against Nate the Train. That's going to be probably one of the performances of the night. So already just give $100,000 to each of these guys. Just give it to them because they are going to put up a great fight. Now, instead, they're going to put Vicente Luque against Kelvin Gastelum. Probably Kelvin is going to knock Vicente Luque in the first round with an overhead right. Or, maybe just puts Vicente Luque in the Anthony Smith position for the rest of the first round, and the ref is not going to stop it because They just want to see if he can get up or do something, and he's not going to do nothing. He's in the tail end of his career. Kelvin Gastelum has probably 25% of his gas, hence the Gastelum. He's running out of gas. And then we have in the welterweight bout, Christopher Alvidrez against Francisco Prado. I should definitely open up this card with Cub Swanson and Nate Langwear. But, I mean, if they are not expecting people to be out there for so early, yeah, just open up with this fight. Nobody's going to watch it. Christopher Alvidrez against Francisco Prado. And then move on to something that is going to end in the first round. And then you're going to have that 3-round banger of a fight between Cub Swanson and Nate Langwear. And then you have strawweight bout Tatiana Suarez again, Lupe Godinez. That's going to be great. Dude, this fight after fight after fight, this is great. I love this. And they should open up the main event with this one right here, Kevin Holland against Randy Brown. And they should end the prelims with this one right here, Dominic Reyes against Johnny Walker. But anyways, Jiri Prochazka against Carlos Ulberg. Guys, subscribe, like the content, and tell me who you guys think it's going to win in this fight. I'm not going to release my predictions just yet. This is going to be in April. So tell me who you think is going to win. Who would you open up the card with? And who would you be closing the prelims card with? And then who are you going to open the main card with? And definitely who you guys have in both championship bouts. Joshua Van against Tatsuro Taira, Jiri Prochazka, Carlos Ulberg. That's going to take place April 11 in Kaseya Center, Miami. Thank you so much. Like and subscribe and leave a comment, guys. Come on.